Yeah, hello, everyone. Welcome to this session on Explore Africa with WikiVoyage. By Alaafia, Isaac, Godstime, Olubusola, and Tesleemah. Over to you, guys, for that presentation, and then we shall take some questions at the end. Thank you.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Explore Africa with WikiVoyage. We are Free Knowledge Africa. We're a non-profit organization that are dedicated to bridging the content gap in all spheres, places, settlements, landmarks within Africa. So we hosted a WikiVoyage competition or contest last year, and though it was limited to Nigeria alone, this year we are interested in expanding our reach to Africa in general. So I'm going to invite my colleague Alaafia to explain the concept of WikiVoyage and how you can contribute to Explore Africa.
Hello everyone, I am Alaafiabami. I'm going to go right into it by explaining what WikiVoyage is. I would like to start that there is a lacuna of knowledge as it relates to travel information about Africa. There's a rising culture of nomads globally, and Africa is missing out on the economic potential of this uh, nomadic activity. So most individuals are working remotely and they are exploring, they are touring the world. So they are making use of multiple travel guides and all of that. This is where WikiVoyage comes in. WikiVoyage is not living up to the potential at which it carries, and I would like to explain to other Wikimedians and the African space on how they can make use of WikiVoyage, on what WikiVoyage is. So WikiVoyage is a free travel based and travel guide. It is for it is for travel destination. It is up to date. It is complete. It is reliable. WikiVoyage is a sister project of Wikipedia. It is hosted and supported by the Wikimedia Foundation. The content on WikiVoyage is released under Creative Commons copyleft licenses. The WikiVoyage has been called the Wikipedia of travel guide. Let me go back and explain a little bit of history about WikiVoyage. WikiVoyage started in 2003, where it was previously referred to as WikiTravel. To get the word WikiVoyage, they combined two words, the wiki and the voyage. WikiTravel was active from 2003 to 2012, and in 2012, most of the editing community left and brought their contributions to the non-profit WikiVoyage. The German and Italian part of WikiTravel pulled out to form WikiVoyage in 2005 and 2007 respectively, and the English WikiVoyage started in 2013. So why should you contribute to WikiVoyage? As I have said earlier, there is a rising culture of nomads, individuals, job seekers, individual young people globally are touring the world. They are traveling all over the world and they are exploring different parts of the world. And this has led to a lot of economic benefits. And from our observation and from our research, we've discovered that there's a lacuna about travel information. There's a huge content gap about travel information on the internet, about on Africa, travel information on Africa generally. So we are trying to implore other Wikimedians and other Africans to contribute to WikiVoyage and to join the community of travel and tourist guide. It's also, you should also contribute to WikiVoyage because you get to contribute to open knowledge platform, like you get to be an open source editor, and it is an excellent way to know how the whole concept of the whole concept of open knowledge works. It enables you to understand how wiki works. So I would like to explain the difference between WikiTravel and WikiVoyage. WikiTravel was owned by I think Internet Systems. WikiTravel Wiki Travel was owned by internet brands, while Wiki it shows advertisements. WikiVoyage is owned by the Wikimedia Foundation and it shows no advertisements. Wikipedia require the difference between WikiVoyage and and WikiVoyage is that Wikipedia requires citation. Uh, the topic is always about encyclopedic topics. It is not restricted to travel information alone, and it does not have a page banner. While WikiVoyage does not require citation, the opinion of the writer is trusted. It contains only travel topics. This is more reasons why you should contribute to WikiVoyage because it is easier to contribute. I know a lot of African contributors have issues as relates to references. When you are contributing on WikiVoyage, you don't need referencing. You can call it WikiVoyage or WikiVoyage. You don't need references. So I'm going to hand over to Isaac to talk about the types of articles on WikiVoyage. Isaac.
Thank you, Alaafiabami. My name is Isaac. Continue the presentation. So on WikiVoyage, we have 4 categories of articles, which are destinations, itineraries, travel topic, and free books. So I would Alaafia, the next slide. So for the destination articles, we have other subcategories of articles under destination articles. The highest one is the articles about continents, and we have sections of continents. So for Africa, we have articles that talk about West Africa, East Africa, Africa, North Africa, and Central Africa. And from there, there's another there's an hierarchical structure of this article. So from sections of continents or regional articles, we have articles about countries. Within the countries, there are articles about regions within countries. So for Nigeria, we have like 6 um, regions within Nigeria on WikiVoyage. We have the Southwest, Southeast, North Central, Northwest, Northeast, and South. So within those regions, we now have states. Depends on the way the WikiVoyagers, like people that did WikiVoyage about the country, agree to actually categorize the country. So we can have regions to states or from states down to cities, towns. And from regions, we also identify national parks within the country, directly linked to the country. And then for big cities like Lagos, Cairo, Nairobi, Johannesburg, the very big cities, we actually create articles about districts within these cities. So it's all like a flow from highest to the lowest. So I'll move on to the next slide to talk about travel topics, itineraries. So for itineraries, we have different type of itineraries. Itineraries are basically people's travel information about their experiences. So for example, we could trek. So for example, here we have the Everest Base Camp trek. So that's just an example of an itinerary. It could be like a trek to Kilimanjaro, a trek to the Plateau, a trek to the coast or something. It could be anything as long as it gives detailed travel information that someone would find useful and would help someone to understand how to plan their traveling ahead better. So we also have road trips. Maybe there's a very long road stretch whereby the article talks about places they can get fuel, they can buy food, the risk, where they should stop, where they shouldn't stop, where there are police officers, where there are security checks, and all of that. Then we also have luxury trains. So this talk about train trips, train rides, how to get to where to buy the tickets, how long the train ride lasts for, is there any charges or any fees for extra luggage and other things like that. And could have a tourist circuit. So let's say there's a very popular tourist destination where people go a lot. So there could be an article that explains everything about getting to this tourist destination. So I will move on to the next type of article on WikiVoyage, which is travel topics. So travel topics are actually broad in nature. They are not necessarily places, but about how to get things done for traveling. So it could be like visa procedure for maybe when you're traveling to a country, it talks about people that need the countries, citizens of countries that need visas, those that don't need visas, how to get the visas, time of the visas, and all of that. It could be about a music festival. Let's say there's a popular music festival in a certain part of the country. It talks about how to get there, where to buy tickets, how long to stay for, what to keep in mind, things like concerns and safety when you're traveling, maybe concerns and safety when traveling to Africa or when traveling to Europe, things to prepare along. And maybe traveling with children, how you should prepare and what you should take along and necessary precautionary measures. Then maybe you want to work and volunteer in a certain part of the world, maybe the organization that do volunteering there. And finally, we have phrase books. These are basically books about language, phrases in different languages. So it's supposed to help a traveler who is going to a region of the world or a place he has never been to where they probably don't speak the language he understands. Maybe I'm going to South Africa and they speak or Kenya and they speak Swahili and I don't understand Swahili. So a phrase book is supposed to help me get the most used phrases or used words in a particular language so that I can easily relate with the locals better. So it will be not any language at all. Any language at all. So it's just words like hello, good morning, I want to get this, where is the direction, I'm coming from here. So all those phrases are compiled. So it's not it's not like limited to specific languages, but any language at all, as long as it contains information that would help a traveler to get where we are going to. And one thing we've also noticed that a lot of African languages don't have phrase books on WikiVoyage. So it's still the um European languages like English, French, Arabic, not English, French, and other international languages are used all over the world. So for Nigeria, we have only 3 or 4 out of like hundreds of languages that we have in Nigeria. So this is another area where people can contribute by helping to like document the phrases and words that are used in their language and their translation in English, because we are trying to host this contest on the English Wikivoyage. So it has to be translated to English so that people can read and understand both. So I'll proceed to the next part of the presentation. So which is how a Wikivoyage article is like set out. So there's the banner at the top of the article. This banner is like a very high quality panoramic photo that provides a broad overview of how the destination looks like. Ideally, it should be like a bird eye, a drone shot or something that captures the destination that helps you to like visually relate and connect with it. So the most important thing that it should be relevant to the destination, or the topic of the article, any of the. So if it's a Hausa phrase book, the banner should actually relate to the Hausa culture. It should have something that shows that okay, this is the Hausa people. It could be anything. But if it's a town like Lagos or Ibadan or Accra, it should have something that shows Accra. It is very important. It should be as accurate as possible. So I would proceed to. So there's the traveler's pub on WikiVoyage. So if you are trying to like get started on WikiVoyage, you are trying to learn something, you have some challenges, or you've been challenged for violating some of the policies, or you want to create an article on something that you don't know how to necessarily go about it, a traveler's pub is just like the equivalent of the Wikimedia tea house, where you can ask questions and people would actually put you through and guide you every step of the way. So I'll be handing over to Godstime to continue the presentation.
I think God's time is off.
Okay, sorry. I don't know. My internet went. Am I on?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yes.
God's time.
Am I on now?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm so excited to do this section. Like they've been explaining before, like my other colleagues have been explaining, Isaac, and we are here to, as Free Knowledge Africa, we are here to tell you that a contest is coming up in December. So talking about WikiVoyage, you know a lot about your country. You believe you have something to write about travel information, travel destination, about maybe your state, wherever you are. Maybe you are in Kenya, you are in Ethiopia, you are in Accra, Ghana, you have things to write about. We're talking about the tourism aspect. We're talking about the travel aspect. So if you know that you are ready and you're willing, we have a contest that is actually coming up in December. So we would invite you to come and join the train. Come and join to improve WikiVoyage article, especially about African content. There's a huge knowledge gap that needs to be filled. So there are prizes to be won. So I'm not going to talk about so much about the prizes, but we just want you to contribute your own quota to making sure that content about Africa are made available online. So thank you. Next slide.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
I
you so
think
much.
from
So
here,
we like.
sorry, I think from here, there's a saying on WikiVoyage that plunge forward, and if there's anything you'd like to share with us, you should write us a mail at info@freeknowledgeafrica.org. And also, there's a registration portal for those that are interested in joining the contest. The link is the bit.ly explore Africa, bit.ly/explore Africa. That is the link to the Google form, and you can contribute and you can join us. And I think we have about 6 to 7 more minutes for questions. So I think we would be taking questions now. Before the questions, Isaac Busola, Godstime, is there something you want to add? Maybe something we missed, so we would explain properly. Yeah, Isaac, is there something you want to add? You are muted, Isaac.
Yeah, this is actually an opportunity to achieve one of the goals of WikiIndaba, which is to help the African community. And so, especially for the free books, there's a very big opportunity here because we'd be able to as document as many free books on different languages, African languages as possible. So we share this with your communities to actually participate, and we'll be offering organizing training sessions and support
Yeah.
sessions to actually put participants through the contest and through the process and even after if necessary. So we're organizing training sessions and not just leave you to figure out things for yourself. So and WikiVoyage is a very much friendly space compared to Wikipedia, very friendly space, and because it's basically you documenting your traveling experiences, although it's sort of moderated by other contributors if they see something that doesn't seems to be true, but it's basically you
Promotion.
writing it in your own words and explaining how it is, how to help the next traveler. Actually, that's just the goal.
Okay,
We know that
Busola, go ahead, Isaac, go ahead.
Africa is a bit not so connected in terms of traveling and trade because there are so many obstacles or institutional obstacles that prevent this from happening. So, and we believe that knowledge is the way. So, first step is to actually make some steps, to take some steps to close the knowledge gaps, and then ensure that if I want to travel to Burundi tomorrow, I can find information that will guide me to either for business, for pleasure, for tourism, for whatever, and find ways to actually make this information available to people and let people have better traveling experiences. That's just what I would like to add.
Yeah, Busola, is there something you want to add?
Okay, just like my colleagues have said, this is a great opportunity for you to learn and also add to the content on WikiVoyage. Like WikiVoyage is very interesting. Like it's a very, very interesting wiki platform where you can just write out your travel experience, and you're assisting someone else, and also opens up your area or your region or your country and Africa in general to tourist attractions. A lot of people want to visit these places, but they don't know how to get there, how to go about their itinerary when they get there. So you joining this contest, you are bringing out your community to the world to show them what we have and how you can access what we have. So it's a very, very interesting opportunity for you to connect your community with the rest of the world, and it will be a very, very interesting experience.
Okay. I think I just realized that when I mentioned the registration link, I didn't say it properly. So the registration link is bit.ly/Explore Africa 2022. The Explore Africa is in small case, and you should be able to get that if you can't see the slides. We are open for questions. We have less than 3 minutes, about 2 minutes more. We are open for questions. Please. Who is? No, it's Explore Africa 2022. Who is taking the questions? How do we connect to the questions? Or is there any question? Okay, I think the link is explore bit.ly Explore Africa 2022. I think
All
it
right.
is just important. Okay, go ahead, Jeffrey.
Yeah, you can share the right link in the chat, and I'll help add it to the banner so that people can see it. But yeah, we can take some questions now. Yeah, so anyone from the room with any question? As other people are coming up, I have one question for you. You have mentioned that WikiVoyage is like more friendly than the English Wikipedia, for example, where you can get your article deleted very quickly. But also, how does WikiVoyage deal with people who may want to exploit it for promotional purposes? I know someone may want to add their hotel just so that tourists can maybe visit. So how does it cater for to remain balanced so that no one is hijacking it and using it for their own benefit?
Isaac, will you take the question? I should take it.
Yeah, let me answer it.
Okay.
So WikiVoyage actually allows businesses, hotels, restaurants to be listed on the platform, because a traveler would definitely need to check into an hotel, buy something at the local store, at the supermarket. So it allows it, but then it can still be abused. And then there's actually a policy that construes that if it's the admins monitor that, and if they know that there's a pattern whereby someone is removing other businesses and listing a certain businesses without any justifiable reason, there's a way it can be monitored. So it allows businesses to be listed. It's not like they have their neutral point of view, but it's not like the Wikipedia's neutral point of view actually. So it's allowed, businesses are actually allowed to list on WikiVoyage that are relevant to the traveler, that are not biased or removing other businesses and adding a certain business.
Great, thank you. Yeah, are there any questions from the room? Yeah, Domi has a very hard question for you.
It's a very easy question. Firstly, as a long-time Wikipedian, I haven't really paid attention to WikiVoyage, so this was a good presentation. Thank you for doing it. I am still unsure or unclear about, for example, how do you deal with pictures and photographs of these places that are being documented? Do those go to commons? How do you deal with issues such as freedom of panorama and copyright issues, basically?
Yeah, the pictures are taken from commons, just as the pictures on Wikipedia are taken from commons. So commons is still the reference point, and the copyright rules and the copyright laws that is available on Commons is what is being reflected on WikiVoyage. As it relates to freedom of panorama, I believe that it is countries that do have freedom of panorama in place. Those are the countries you can share their public images on WikiVoyage. Thank you. I'm not so certain about that, and I can get back to you on it. As it relates to freedom of panorama on WikiVoyage, but we can talk more on it. Yeah, did I get to answer your question?
Yes, it wasn't a difficult one at all.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Any other questions from the room? We still have about 4 minutes. Yeah, I have one for you. As another one from me. So, what are the trends of Edison WikiVoyage across Africa when you compare like with other parts of the world? What have you seen when you look at coverage of African cities and African towns? Like where are some of the countries where you see like very good amount of content, and where is it still lacking? Where we should like be putting more effort to increase coverage?
I'll say some things, and Isaac too will say some things. What's the pattern I've noticed? It's the content about African cities and African destinations on WikiVoyage are mostly written by Europeans. You get, so it's what they get from the textbooks or what they get on the news. That is what they use to describe us on WikiVoyage. So I believe it is important that we Africans take our destiny into our hands and just put ourselves out there. Like when you are even reading the article, like, come on. I think there was an article about Nigeria that made a very, very outlandish comment that Nigeria is one of the unsafe places in the world. And that information is true. That information is untrue. You get some parts of northern Nigeria, just a few pockets are unsafe. You get, and there are more crime related events. There are more criminal activity in some European cities if we check statistics than some African cities. So we Africans have to like put ourselves out there, and I believe Isaac might add the data on the cities. I know there are a lot of contributions on Nigeria, on a lot of content about Nigerian cities, villages on WikiVoyage, but Isaac should be able to share more. I don't have that information currently.
Okay, so I'll just say that the major cities in most African countries are covered on WikiVoyage. Like the capitals and the big cities are covered. Cities that you can easily find information about online. So they are mostly covered. But let's say a town in one of the states or counties in Kenya, maybe something might not be covered. So there's still like a lot of content to out there. And then the content that's even existing about the major cities needs to be corrected. Like we saw a lot of wrong things. I think someone called West Africa a jungle in the article about West Africa WikiVoyage. So there are a lot of things to actually be corrected. So there are so many things to be corrected on the existing content, and then there are so many things to document about the other destination. We have other type of articles like phrase books, where we have no phrase book on most African languages, and then itineraries. Maybe there's a trek from one mountain range to another part that is interesting that the locals do from time to time, but it is not documented anywhere on the social media or anywhere. It's just the thing locals do. So an avenue to like document some of these things on Wikipedia that travelers can just come and participate in it and contribute to the local economy while also doing so, and then encourage traveling within Africa and make things faster. I don't know if Busola or Godstime would like to add to that.
Okay. Yeah. When we talk about content on WikiVoyage, for instance. Okay. Busola, are you going? Okay, so when we talk about content on WikiVoyage, we find out that there's like even though sometimes we have some contents about some big cities and some big towns, even within those articles, we find out that there are too much details that are missing, because if you are going, because within a town, within a city, or within a particular state, there are so many things you can tell people about those places. Okay, how to get a bus from one place to another. Okay, where is the best restaurant? Where can I get if I need the next the place somewhere that is close by that I can eat. Okay, the next restaurant that is close by, or the next hotel that I can sleep in. No, those minute and tiny details that they they are very, very important to somebody that is a tourist, because somebody that is a tourist that is just coming to a particular place, he needs a lot of details about the place he is going to. So he's going to need all the help he or she can get in this particular instance. So every contribution that anybody can make, especially by Africans, is really, really welcome in WikiVoyage.
Yeah, thank you. And I think
Sorry,
it's very.
Sorry, I think Busola was about to say something. We should always let our women talk. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let
Just
Busola
add to what, okay, just add to what everyone has said. There's some information on WikiVoyage, but
Yeah, looks like the internet.
Okay, you can see some information that did exist at one particular time, but then probably because of some constructions or for some reasons, like restaurants can be closed down or these bus stops can be shut down, but they are still there on WikiVoyage. And when you go there and you search for them, you realize that it has been closed for like 2 to 3 years. So it's not just about adding new, but also updating. I mean, you know your country better than I do, you know your community better than I do, you know what was existing before that isn't existing again. So you can go there to update those information just to give an accurate and correct picture to a tourist that wants to visit your place.
All right.
She really added an important thing.
Yeah, I just want to say that we are out of time, and just like to say thank you to our presenters. Thank you for the job well done. Yeah, this
Thank you
will
for
be,
having us.
Yeah, it was nice having you at WikiIndaba, and yeah, we'll end the live broadcast here, and yeah, see you at the other sessions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thanks for having us. Bye.